Welcome back to Reality NSFW and our coverage of the Challenge Double Agents. We're talking episode 12 tonight. And what an unusual episode this was. We're back to these cliffhanger formats. We've got multiple people going home again. This is such an unusual season of the Challenge. I know fans don't like these cliffhanger episodes. I kind of loved this episode. It was very unpredictable. Jonny, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I thought this was one of the best resets of a season that I have seen in some time. I would have liked for a little bit of difference at the beginning, but we'll get there. But I mean, in the history of resets, this was pretty huge and pretty well done.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I'm ready to dance on some graves. There's a certain somebody who stood us up last week who I get why now. They're embarrassed. They didn't want to talk about this. They're feeling
No. I talked with Devin. He legitimately set his calendar for Friday night at 10 p.m., which is a goof, or not the goof, or B, very telling of Devin's social life in 2021 to be available on a Friday night at 10 p.m. Hey, you know what? I if that's the case, I appreciate the commitment.
Yep. No, yeah. You know what? It's all good. I have no hate towards Devin. I have hate towards Devin about a couple things that he's done in his life, not about standing us up. That's fine. No worries. But we do go back to the crater and we find out that this huge, shocking, what do they call it? Security breach is in fact that this is a double elimination. And all of the weird, in the dark, creepy shots we saw last week was all misdirection.
Yes.
Instead, we get double elimination and Devin is already down in the crater and CT says, hey, who do you want to face?
That is insane. I mean, like, that just shows you the alliance of Devin and CT, two islands unto themselves.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think Devin should have called down here at this point? So it's Devin and Josh are the two who got the most votes, so they're going to be facing some folks. Who do you think Devin should call down?
I mean, at first I was like, Cory is the obvious choice, but Cory is a rogue agent.
Yeah.
So that's not on the table. For all the bad people like to say about Devin, I think there is honor amongst thieves with Devin. And I think his best move would have been Kyle. But I don't think, I think that he respects Kyle. And I think CT did too. I mean, I think CT respected Kyle to a degree. But, that's one of those honor amongst thieves type deal. So, but I think CT and Devin were cool, and I think Devin and Kyle were cool.
Yeah,
and I think Devin was
the link,
the olive branch that connected the two.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair because I don't see Kyle and CT bonding too much, just the two of them.
Yeah. So, but I think Kyle was probably his easiest opponent. However, if he beats Darrell, he's got Kyle there, and he's got CT there if CT wins. So that was the strongest move alliance-wise going forward, because we saw, 2 weeks ago, Devin with power able to do nothing because he didn't have the numbers.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it's going to be the same story if he doesn't turn something around. He knows he's still going to be come at with, even if he escapes this with a skull, so he needs those numbers. I think it's probably a good strategic move. I don't think the way he explains it is really the motivation here. But I think it's a move. He calls down Darrell. Darrell's a beast, though. This never looked good for Devin for me. I didn't see how he was going to come out of this unless maybe there's a puzzle in this elimination. Devin is the puzzle master. So you think that would help him out, but no.
Yeah. And okay, so you say Devin wins, he's still a target. If Devin wins, that means he has a crater victory over Wes and Darrell. Yeah, I don't think that bullseye is quite as big.
Well, keep in mind, Josh is also down there. So who else are you going at? You're not coming at Fessy. You're not coming at CT.
Moving forward, I think Kyle becomes the biggest target.
Kyle, yeah, I think that's fair. Kyle and Devin, kind of, that's the duo you're going to attack for skulls rather than Devin and Josh here.
Yeah. Actually, but if you see the challenge and it's more puzzle than anything else, I think Fessy's your target over Devin or Kyle.
I don't know. I don't think you ever call Fessy down there unless you know 1000% that is like just do a puzzle. There's no chance of it being a headbanger even for a minute, because Fessy will knock you unconscious.
Well, no, once you get there and you see the challenge.
Yeah, sometimes the challenges aren't what you expect, though. Like, I didn't think tonight was going to be a puzzle at all, and then all of a sudden there's a puzzle element to it. But I don't know. The reason I think it was a decent move is, like what you said, it's all in. Like, I don't think Devin had a great shot at beating Darrell, but I don't think he has a great shot at getting to the final unless he beats Darrell or somebody who's against him here, because he needs to retake the numbers in the house to some degree, or he's just going to be going in and watching his allies go in and be on an island.
How amazing was it when TJ explains the security breach and the jubilation of Devin and CT?
You know, they were both a little extra, I think. In hindsight, I loved watching it. It was a lot of fun, but in hindsight, maybe put a little damper on that.
Yeah. And you know, and we get spiteful asshole Devin.
Yes. But I haven't seen a different kind, but yes, we do get spiteful asshole Devin.
Did you watch the last season of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David with the spite store?
No, I did not.
So he went to a coffee place and he the coffee was lukewarm and the table wobbled and the guy had scones, but the scones were soft. He's like, "These are muffins," and the guy was like, "Get out!" He was like, "I'm going to open up a coffee place right next door to yours, just out of spite." So he opened up a spite coffee instead of Mocha Joe's coffee. He opened up Larry's Lattes right next door. And then the local news did a story about it, you know, like celebrity Larry David opens a spite store. So then other celebrities start open, who's the kid? The actor that he gets fat sometimes, then he loses weight. Younger guy.
Are you thinking of Jonah Hill?
Yes, Jonah Hill opens up a deli next door to this other deli and puts them out of business. And they're just like, you know, "What's your next film?" He goes, "I'm really trying to concentrate on the deli thing right now." So he's turning down roles. And then Mila Kunis opens up a watch store. So there's all these spite stores opening up. I think Devin would be the key. He would be a great GM at a spite store.
Yeah, I think so. Devin reminds me of many GMs of stores. That sounds about right.
I did like when you know, when Leroy goes, "Who wants it?" and Devin's like, "I think we both want it, Leroy."
Yeah, that was really good. I did enjoy that. And I love Leroy. Don't come at Leroy, but that was very funny.
Yes. So and we learned really quickly, in case you were wondering, you know, who has the advantage in this. You know, we have Devin, the puzzle master, but we have Darrell, who we learned very quickly is actually good at tangerine puzzles.
Yeah, this dude loves talking about produce. He's talking about comparing oranges and asparagus, and he does tangerine puzzles. He is all about the produce.
Yes. So if I were to open up a spite restaurant, I would hire Devin as my general manager, and I would have Darrell as like, you know, my gardener.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like, "The Brussels sprouts aren't quite ready yet, Fairplay. Let's give him another 3 days."
He knows his produce, man. No, he crushed this tangram puzzle. Right? They get to the puzzle, they're about tied, and Darrell absolutely crushes this thing, it seemed like.
Yeah. So no, well, we see crushing later, but yeah, it was. I mean, do you think Devin got in his own head a little bit here?
I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask, because I'd say no.
Well, I mean, I think Devin thought that potentially Darrell was going to smoke him on the physical part.
Yes.
And the fact that it was so close, I think like Devin's mind exploded.
Yeah, I think so. And Devin is smart. He might be a puzzle guy. I've only seen him do a few puzzles, but Tangram puzzles are a unique beast. I thought that Devin would do better at this, but I was impressed with Darrell because I've never seen Darrell as a puzzle guy. I see him as just an absolute beast in physical comps. So I found it very impressive. I don't know. I don't know that Devin really could have beaten him here, whether he was in his own head, whether he wasn't in his own head. I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah. And truth be told, I mean, we got humble Devin to finish his narration. I mean, you know, he explains to the viewers at home, talked a bunch of shit, got his ass kicked. Classic Devin.
Yep. Devin's at his best when he shits on himself, and it's very funny. I definitely appreciate that about Devin. I didn't see it at the beginning of the season, and I did see it later on. It's something I've observed about Wes as a character too that I've talked about. I see Devin and Wes as fairly similar characters with the way they narrate and talk about themselves on the challenge. I hate them at the beginning of the season, and as it goes on, I start to like them more and more as they start talking less about themselves and more about other people, and can be a little bit more self-deprecating.
Yeah. So no, I loved it. And next we have the battle of Josh, the goof, or Josh versus.
Well, now
CT.
we find out why we got that "I want the goof" line because that didn't come to fruition last week. But guess what? Setup.
Yes, the goof is here, and we learn quickly here that Josh is willing to do whatever he has to. Josh, you have to get pieces and do a puzzle. So I can actually narrow down whatever you have to do to win this is two things: get pieces, do a puzzle. That's whatever you have to.
Yeah, Josh should be good at this, but if we thought that Darrell crushed it last time, which I did, we roll into CT, and this looked like an absolute joke. Josh had no chance.
All right. Now, one of two things are happening here. A, CT is the world record tangerine puzzle solver. Or B, do you think perhaps they saw the puzzles?
Oh, that's a really good observation. CT is a 465,000 time challenge veteran, so I do think he would know that he should be keeping an eye on that.
Yep.
That is a really good observation I'd not thought about. Yeah, I think that CT saw this damn thing and memorized it and just
at least enough of it. I mean, if once you figured out the bottom was, you know, like it's almost an X, and then you're just filling it around, you know, the big triangle at the bottom. Once you figure out that part, the rest is I mean, because like as soon as I saw Devin like sliding to the right, I'm like, no, middle. So even if just a glance CT catches, that's the difference maker.
If he would have gotten any chance while they're doing setup, while they're doing teardown, to see just one line across to get where the two big pieces go, and then you just have to fit in the little pieces, I think there is definitely a non-zero chance that something in production that we didn't see on TV, CT was able to catch a glance of what that is. I know people in the chat are saying, no, production does. Get out of here. I know too many people that have done reality TV. I know too many people that have been on the challenge. There's a very good chance you saw that puzzle.
You're talking to a guy right here that's looking for any fucking like when it comes to the integrity of the game, you know, we hear a little bit later when there's $1 million on the line, you're not going home and telling your kid, oh, I had a chance to see that puzzle, but I was like, you know, your dad wanted to maintain the integrity. No, your dad wants to bring home $1 million to his son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, CT.
Yeah, hold on, Liz B. She's saying CT wasn't able to see the puzzle from where he was, but CT comes down. Like, just say, like, production makes mistakes. Mm-hmm. I guarantee they didn't have a second tangerine puzzle sitting by.
No, not the challenge.
No.
You know, we'll never know.
I understand what everyone's saying that the puzzle's on the other side, but still, CT came down. There is a possibility that no one thought to take down the puzzle. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
So we might be wrong.
What happens if he just walks over to where the puzzle is? What are they going to do? They don't have a backup puzzle.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Like, you know what? Once you've been on reality TV that many times, you don't listen to the rules. You just do what you want.
Yeah.
And then you let production try to lay down the rules on you later. I know CT's known for being good at puzzles, but There is a non-zero chance. I like that theory. I am a big fan of reality TV conspiracy theories. I think that's a good one. And I also still think CT crushed it, not to take away anything from him.
Yeah,
Where I will take something away from him is whatever came out of him as he's decided to switch partners. And he erupts ditching Big T so that he can take Cam. What are your thoughts on CT's move here, switching partners, and the manner in which he does it?
I don't think I've ever liked CT more than in that moment.
But you love Big T.
I was willing to sacrifice Big T just like CT did for that, like, heel turn, bro. I mean, like Alex said last night on the reaction pod, I'm right there with you. Heel turn. I love a good bad guy. This is as good as it gets. I mean, you've been building up this good guy equity throughout the season. The best time to become a bad guy is when you're at your height of being a good guy. And conversely, your best time to be to turn from bad guy to good is when you're at the peak of your evilness and you make a morality decision and go the opposite way. That pop is that much bigger. So yes, I think he had built up the equity throughout the season, and oh man, amazing heel turn. I'm just like, I love CT right now.
I so didn't see this coming. CT has been such a different person this season, and the way they've done his characterization is absolutely incredible. I'm so impressed with the way they built up this moment with him and Big T training and showing their bonding. All so that we could get, as you said, this big heel turn from CT. And also, I thought CT was just kind of in the zone. Like, if you noticed when he was going into that elimination, his voice was like lowered to a grunt. Yeah. Like, he was absolutely in the zone. And then all of a sudden, boom, blowing the game up and throwing Big T under the bus so that he can get Cam. Should he be working with Cam here, or should he have stuck with Big T? Let's evaluate it not as a TV move, but as a strategy move. Is this smart for CT?
I think so, but at the same time, as Dan, who was a guest co-hosting with Alex last night, pitched, and it may have been Alex, but I'm pretty sure it was Dan, and I think he said that if you worst case scenario, you keep Big T, she doesn't get her skull, you're not really stuck with her at the end, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think we're getting to crunch time. I mean, I actually talked with Devin at the end of last week and actually earlier today. They are filming the reunion special as we speak.
Really? Okay.
So, so we're looking at that close episode timeline wise that we're nearing the end game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to make your move, potentially we're not going to see CT get in there again. I think it's the right move.
Yeah, I do too. I think that strategically, if you have a skull, you want to be with someone with a skull.
Yeah.
I think that we've seen how many fights break out because one person wants to go down, one doesn't. It's just too imbalanced. I think that if you don't have a skull, you want to be with someone who doesn't have a skull, and vice versa. So I think it's pretty smart. Cam's a good choice. Not only is she a badass, she's tied to Leroy, so you're also then tied to Casey and Big Brother. It's pretty smart. I think that CT just got himself into the finals with not only the skull, but also that partnering up with Cam.
Yeah, and I mean, his two options are Cam or Casey, to be honest. I mean, if you're looking for the best of the best, I think those two are the best of the females. No contest.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I wonder, though, if he picks Casey, he's now pissed off Cam and Leroy versus by picking Cam and Leroy now have to work with him. And if Leroy's working with him, Casey has to work with him.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, despite not voting with each other 100% of the time, you see body language and casual chemistry between CT and Leroy. I think that they might not be allies, but there's a mutual respect between the two.
Yeah, there's going to be a working relationship for two guys who've been doing the challenge for most of their adult lives.
Yeah, since the advent of color television.
No, we've got a bunch of shakeups then. As I think at one point, like 90% of the cast is down there in the crater because they've had their partnerships disrupted.
That's what I'm saying. I love it. I mean, if you're looking for if you're a viewer, I was happy with everything. Like I didn't have any complaints. I was, I wanted to see, Devin, like, seeing Devin last week with power and able to do nothing. I'm just like, well, I would like a little more in favor of that. I feel it was a little lopsided.
Mhm.
So if you felt that way, you got everything you wanted tonight.
Yeah, as you said, this is a great reset episode. It reset like almost all of the teams. It reset the power dynamic in the house because all of a sudden new people are going to have to work with new people. You can tell how much of a hard reset this is because a lot of those cast members are pretty emotional when they're in the house, when they're at the spa. Like this sends shockwaves through everyone's plans for the end game.
And I'm happy with that. I hate complacency as a viewer. I hate it. As a player, I'm just like, fuck you. You're fucking up everything. Like, do you know how long I worked to get to this fucking point right fucking here? Everything. So actually, I take that back. Me, like when I was on Pro Islands, I was bored. I mean, that a lot of what you don't know about Survivor, I think there's a little bit of this. I think it helps. They had the club and somewhat shit to do in the challenge, but on Survivor you're just bored. So I tell production daily, they're just like, don't think that I won't change the game on you. And I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking anything. I don't care. Anything. So I have something to do. There's nothing you can do to fuck up my game. So, and they really didn't. So, but if I did have shit to do, I would be like, status quo's A-okay. Let's just fucking leave well enough alone. I worked really hard to get to this situation. So I loved it. All right. As much as you dislike Devin, you have to admit the walk-off. The walk-off by Devin saying, Big Brother sucks, eat my ass. Yeah. Followed by Josh saying, can I punch him now?
I mean, it's so good, those two. Yeah, like their rivalry is hilarious. I think that it's smart of both of them. I know a lot of people have said that that they are good now, that Josh and Devin were potentially seen hanging out or on a trip together. I think Devin's no stranger to manufacturing relationships for shows. I think they definitely have some rivalry between each other, but I also think they're a bit more friendly than we're seeing.
I think a lot of that. I think Devin knows what he's doing for TV.
Yeah.
And I think Josh is an emotional player. But I think part of that for Josh is television as well. I mean,
I agree 100%. They're both like 50% of that is inflated.
They're not bringing Josh there to be a challenge beast. They're not bringing him there for the hookup. He's there for the emotional reaction.
What are you talking about? Who doesn't love the Josh and Nani segments? That's why I come to the challenge. It's my favorite part.
We're going to get to that, and I think there's a little more to it.
Yeah. Anyways, the flight home between the two of them is awesome. TJ tells him to go bond. And I love Salty Paul says Devin never showed up for the flight, just like he didn't show up here last week. Fantastic.
Thank you, Salty Paul. If only there were porn to give away this week. Sorry. So CT chooses Cam. Darrell keeps Amber. I think that's the right move for Darrell.
I think so too. Also, Darrell and Amber B is a strong team. Amber B, I feel like I'm still underestimating her because I did not anticipate her being nearly as strong as she has in some of the endurance competitions.
Yep.
I know she was against Amber M, but that was like such a lights out elimination performance for Amber B.
And you keep that aligned. I mean, Darrell was the swing vote, and a lot of people, in some instances, being the swing vote is cool and it's a pivotal and it's a powerful position in the game. But another way to look at the swing vote is odd man out.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, with that great power one week comes great back against the wallness the following.
No, I think so.
So him, getting his skull, having Amber as his partner, being like his status in the Big Brother Alliance is now pretty much solid with Josh being gone.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think that was the super correct move on Darrell's part. And,
Yeah, Phoebe Alliance needs the numbers, absolutely.
Real quick, getting back to Josh, like we made fun and throughout the season. I think Josh is great TV.
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah. So I mean, if I'm for those just like, oh, he's horrible in eliminations, he'll never make the final and all that. Josh will one day make a final. I don't know if he's going to win a final, but I think he will one day make a final, and he will continue to be given opportunities because he is excellent television.
Yeah, he's someone that everyone, all the viewers love to hate and love to get on the internet and talk about how much they hate him. So if you really hate Josh and you really don't want to see him again, my best advice for you is just say nothing. That is how you signal to MTV. I don't like this guy. You don't say anything about how much you hate him. You just say nothing.
Yeah. But keep saying stuff because, as I said, I want to see him on the next season.
Yeah, no, I agree. He is. So many of these people come in season after season, and it's a business relationship. Josh is the chaotic, emotional wild card that you need in a lot of these situations. I miss the days when the challenge there were more drunken fights and more like just craziness going on in the house. And Josh brings that to a degree. He's one of the only people bringing it. So I want him there as many times as he's willing to play. I also think he's a really good dude in real life. So I always root for that as well.
And the rumor and innuendo on the phone calls that have gone out for season 37 include Michelle Fitzgerald and Wendell Holland from Survivor.
And don't forget David from Big Brother.
And David from Big Brother. And does David from Big Brother get to actually go on?
All I want in the world is for David from Big Brother to play the challenge. This sounds so funny. He's my favorite Big Brother player ever. So yeah, I really want him there.
Okay. Well, let's just say it's just Michelle and Wendell. They're both really from the interactions I've seen at charity events, they both like Josh a lot.
Okay.
And as far as the Sarah Lucina rumor, I think she's just been putting it out there. I have not seen that on any potential casting sheets. I love Sarah Lucina and I think she would be great on it, but I think she is too old and she's married, right?
Yeah, she's gonna bring a like military precision to the game that is it's boring to watch. I'm not here for like athletic feats. I would watch like the X Games or like actual sports for that. I'm here for some like dope ass athletic accomplishments with some drama and with some strategy and some gameplay. I think Lucina is going to come in and be like just straight to the point and not bring a whole lot of that drama that we want on the challenge.
American Ninja Warrior is the show that you need to be petitioning for Sarah Lucina.
Yeah, and they brought over Ninja from American Ninja Warrior, and she sucked on the challenge.
Yeah, it's the same character.
Yeah. There you go.
So no, that's the show for her, and I'm watching and rooting for her.
Yeah, no, I like Lucina. She's cool. I like her on Survivor, but Survivor is such a different show.
Yeah, and I'm friends with her in real life. I mean, and I find her very attractive in real life, but I don't want her on the show.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a difference of like how they're casting like the hot chicks on the challenge versus the attractive people on Survivor. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
CBS
they want relationships.
Yes. Yep.
Sarah's not bringing. I mean, if Sarah did bring that to the table, holy moly!
No, I actually don't want to see that drama.
I don't want to see that either.
No, that's awful. We don't want to see families and relationships ripped apart on TV.
Yeah. So that's as I said. I like Sarah. American Ninja Warrior needs to be what she's requesting and what you're requesting for her. So next we have Cory is next Kyle is
Oh, what does he say? It's fantastic.
Nani, I'm home.
Yep. There we go.
I think that's good for both of them of the available options.
I think they are the new team layup.
Okay.
I worry I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Nani needs to get her skull still.
Yeah.
I think Kyle, of the options on the table, Kyle is like one of the easier dudes to steal a skull from.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of competition. Although Kyle has proven himself a couple times. So
yeah, he's been in what, 2 finals?
I don't have his stats on the top of my head. I wasn't planning on talking about it. But yeah, I think at least that I can think of.
Yeah. So I mean, like, he's legit. I mean, like, don't let he's so like he's not he's a pretty complex character.
Mm-hmm.
He's easily one of my favorite characters. I wish he would get a little more airtime. I just don't know. Like, I feel like it's difficult to nail down exactly what he is because I feel like there's a smoothness to him,
Yeah.
but then I feel like there's a goofiness to him.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters in recent challenge for that reason. Like, he's really funny, but also, yeah, really, really smooth and a really big manipulator. And we hear him at the beginning of the season, like, TJ made up this secret ballot so that I can lie because he knows I'm a liar and I love to weasel my way into things. Yeah, that's his thing. And then he's also always hooking up with someone. So I don't know who he was hooking up with this season.
Yeah, we didn't see it if it did happen.
Sometimes they show his relationship, sometimes they don't. But if Cara Maria was there and if Cara Maria comes back, Kyle, I think, will take center stage again as the narrator of that whole situation. Him and Nani, I think they'll work together well. It'll be interesting to see who Nani goes down to get a skull against. I don't know. I worry about her chances at a final because it's getting close.
Yeah. And next, Cory chooses Gabby of the 2 options between Gabby and Big T.
What do you think about that? Gabby versus Big T is your choice if you're Cory?
I mean, I think he was choosing who he wanted to curse more. Like, I think he made a self decision that he liked Big T more than Gabby, and so he chose Gabby.
I mean, this definitely solidifies Gabby's not making the final. So, Cory, how dare you? I like Gabby. But yeah, so Cory and Gabby are together. I see them doing very middling. I don't think they're one of the elite teams. I see the elite teams right now as being the CT Cam, Leroy Casey, and then maybe tier 2 right below them, Darrell and Amber B. And then these other teams are kind of at the bottom of the pile.
I mean, so do you think if Cory had a partner and Devin called him out, you think Devin beats Cory?
Yeah, Cory's not good at puzzle. There's I love Cory, but Cory comes across as kind of an idiot in a lot of these puzzle things. So I don't see it happening.
Yeah. All right. And then Nam gets Big T.
Yep. And this ends up being the true curse for Big T, unfortunately. But as this went down, I thought this was better for Big T and her chance at a gold skull. So I was pretty hopeful for her because now Nam also needs a skull. I'm thinking, okay, Nam, maybe the reason he wasn't doing so well last time was because Lolo sucks. So maybe now Nam and Big T connection, they're going to get the double agent spot. They're going to go down and one of them's going to get their skull. It's going to be great. It's going to be glorious. But Nam's back is still fucked. So those seeds have been planted for a couple episodes. I was worried that he was going to be medevac straight at the top of this episode, and we didn't get it.
So the security breach was him just leaving, perhaps. So.
Yeah, that could be part of it. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I think I think there's a like between most. I would say 99, unless you're just a horrible person. I think, the majority of the viewers are liking both Nam and Big T. So they're easy underdogs to root for.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people left right now that I'm not rooting for. I pretty much like all these people. I think they're setting up CT as maybe the villain now, but CT's too lovable to be the villain.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, so as they enter headquarters, the song we get. Did you watch this on MTV or still no?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, the song they enter the house enter back into headquarters is "Don't Dream It's Over" by Crowded House. For those of you that don't know, that's the Hey Now, that song. That's so cool.
That's good. As all their relationships are falling apart in the house, we get that song. That's really inspiring. I like it.
Yeah, they nailed it. It was really good. So then we see Nani crying. I'm thinking at this moment, there was potentially some real feelings she had for Josh that she didn't want to admit to previously.
Interesting. Potentially. Nani catches feelings awfully quickly. We've seen that a number of times. I could potentially see it. Her and Josh are obviously very tight. I don't know. She's also going to be really upset though. She just lost her partner and she's stuck with Kyle. That's probably not exactly what she wanted to happen. The partner that she loves working with and has her firmly entrenched in the Big Brother alliance is now gone. She's potentially out of the Big Brother alliance and she's stuck with Kyle, who was part of the Kyle and Devin sit around and drink beers alliance. So that's a little bit of a different game for Nani. But as Gabby says, it's a whole different kettle of fish. They're all going to have to learn how to move on. Very common American saying.
Yes. That's what they say. So Kyle took Cam originally, and then CT takes Cam. I think that's tit for tat. I know there's a little anger on Kyle's part, but
what did CT do to, or what did Kyle do to CT?
Well, nothing. But Kyle took CT originally from who did he take?
No. Kyle and Cam have been together from the start. Cam wanted to partner with CT at the very beginning, and CT,
yeah.
The CT discarded that relationship himself and then stole Cam back from Kyle. So CT is now twice in the wrong in this scenario.
Okay, well, I guess then, yeah, there's nothing. So, and Cam tells us, the viewers, that she preferred Kyle.
Yeah.
Would you have guessed that? CT being the beast that he is?
I don't know. So much is about communication, I guess. If she communicates better with Kyle, Kyle's a pretty open, communicative guy. You see how CT is when he's talking to Big T later on. I think Cam is strong enough that she could carry a lot herself. Like, I don't know that she's necessarily seeing much of a difference, whether she's with Kyle or if she's with CT. She makes a big difference every time, right? When Kyle and Cam were together and won that challenge. I see that Cam's been stolen twice. I can't remember who Kyle took Cam from, but it was like way back.
So
but it wasn't CT.
Yeah, no. So, but as I said, Cam has stolen, or Kyle has stolen Cam. So since he did it to someone, it's okay for CT to do it to him.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I still think you're going to be pissed. Like
Kyle stole Cam from Josh.
From Josh. Okay. That makes sense. That was like very early on. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, I guess so. But
that's tit for tat.
Yeah, I guess so. But they were the killers, man. They were
they were a lot of fun to root for together. I felt like they brought people together. I felt like they brought viewers together. I felt like they brought parts of the house together in some ways.
I mean, that was the same with CT and Big T. With these relationships fractured, I can't even imagine what this is going to look like going forward.
It's going to be a rough few days.
Yeah, I know. It's
the challenge to end the episode is not helping anything.
This is the most perfectly timed daily challenge of all time, right? Like,
yeah,
you guys are all tense and already don't feel that close to your partners. Yeah. Well, guess what? You're going to get tortured with them all night.
Guess what? You're in Saw 4.
Yeah. I can't wait to see this challenge. I can't recall ever seeing a daily challenge anything like this one. So this should be really fascinating to see what this even looks like. I guess at the end, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it.
Okay, so right now, no one in the house likes CT. I like you more than ever. Nam in unbearable back pain. We hear that Nam is taking painkillers and they're not working. I know a lot of reality stars that would like to sign up for the challenge if they know that painkillers are a part of the daily routine.
Do they not let you take your painkillers on Survivor?
No. Even if you have 4 scripts for them and you're not a fan of pills in any way.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
I can't believe they would do that. And I don't know, let other people potentially have Nicorette or other things they might need. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. Yep.
But yeah, so Nam's taking painkillers on the set. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, that just makes sense. I feel like this about all the reality shows. I hate when the reality shows don't give medical help to the people who need it.
yeah.
What's the big deal? If this is going to make Nam feel better and be able to compete potentially, give him a couple pills. If someone has a cut on Survivor, bandage him up. I like that they do that on the challenge. I wish Survivor would do that. I hate.
Well, they do that on which call you on Australian Survivor. You see, they like they look like the Spirit of '76 coming off some of the challenges.
Yeah, like bandage them up, take care of them.
They bandage them up, take care of them, so that we have less medevacs.
Yeah, no one likes medevacs.
How many medevacs have they had in Australian Survivor? Don't say names because I haven't seen.
One comes to mind.
Okay.
But it was major. It wasn't like
yeah.
It wasn't like on Survivor when someone gets a cut on their finger and then 49 days later, whatever, it's like it got infected, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, if I'm watching at home and I see a fucking Band-Aid with Dora the Explorer on it, I'm not going, this is fake.
No. Well, that's some foreshadowing. We've been getting the storyline of Nam's back for a couple episodes now. Unfortunately, he's gonna go to the hospital later on. We see in the house, but before that happens, they take him out. This is the first time we've seen them out of the house, and they go to a hot spring. It is not the Blue Lagoon, but it is something similar in Iceland. It looks beautiful. This is pretty cool. They get to go there. I'm glad they're not just stuck. Like the only activities you get to do are torture in the middle of the night and drink in this club. They instead get a different outlet. What did you think of the spa?
I think there's a camera angle they should have shied away from. I think that the shack that you paid the guy at the door at was pretty fucking low budget. And I just think if they had swung that camera to the right the entire time and not shown that fucking, plywood garage.
Oh, see, for me, I appreciated that. I was like, this is cool. They went to an actual natural hot spring and not like one of the like manufactured corporate ones.
Well, I'm cool with that, but I mean, I would imagine that it was like I can't imagine there's corporate hot springs in Iceland.
The Blue Lagoon.
Is that a corporate?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, but it's like so fake.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't look like that. It would look amazing on camera.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with this, and just don't show the fucking shack.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I would just cut. I mean, like it's so like it. Everything is just cut that out of the shot. I mean, I can't believe that production allowed that shot to be filmed. I'm okay with it on the far away one when the drone shot or whatever. I'm cool with that. But up close, there's no. I mean, it was just cheap.
Yeah, I hear you. The spa trip itself, though, is not cheap. The booze is flowing. CT's buying rounds.
Oh yeah. The song playing at this point, "Cruel Summer" by Bananarama.
Oh, that's a really good one. Yes. I love it. I need to actually watch MTV someday. I don't know when it's going to happen, but now that Big Brother Canada has started, I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I loved the spa trip nonetheless, even when I didn't get the excellent music. It was really cool to see Leroy and Cam have a sweet moment together. I forget often like how serious their relationship is, and it's so cool that they get to have this shared experience. So many of these challenge relationships or reality TV relationships fall through. Those two are super cute together, and that's awesome. If you are a challenge competitor, that you get to have this moment with your significant other, that's dope. What's not so dope is Big T. What are you thinking about Big T, who's lost her sparkle?
I think she has every right to be upset. As I said, I love the moment. If I'm Big T, I hate the moment, and CT's a piece of shit.
Yeah, how do you think CT's doing trying to smooth it over with some champagne?
Sending over champagne and giving the smirk with your fucking Tom Cruise fucking Top Gun glasses. Fail.
No, this to me would have made it worse. I would have been like, this actual motherfucker thinks he's going to smooth this over with a glass of champagne, which I know in Iceland costs like $50 but still, that is bullshit.
Yeah, it was weak, and he's proud of himself, which once again I'm applauding. I'm just like this is a scumbag move right here. This is like Yeah. She ain't as smart as me. See, I'm fucking tricking her by buying her champagne, and she's falling for it, and she's just like, fuck this dude.
He's so arrogant in that moment. You can see it. I love CT, but this is not the spot, man. This spot trip also is so fun. This is why I don't want any more cold weather seasons. Not only because everyone looks great in their swimwear, but also just because it's cool to see them hanging out and having fun and doing stuff that isn't like sitting around a miserable house.
Yeah. So and Big T is she was like, it can't get worse than this. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, yes, it could. Cory could have chosen you as his partner.
Yeah, that would have
been immensely worse.
You'd be cursed.
It means you're going home.
Yeah.
Like, now you have a fighting chance.
The narrative of Cory this season is so funny.
It's pretty good.
I hope he gets at least one more person out because that body count is insane.
Yeah. So no, I'm not I don't dislike Cory, but I'm not a Cory fan. But I am enjoying all of this with him.
Yeah, all I can think about with Cory this season is him just giving repeated confessionals like, yep, got a new partner. She's cursed probably. She's not going to be here long. Yeah. Next episode. Looks like a rogue agent again.
Yeah. I would like to hear Cory go, I'm not even bothering learning their names at this point.
Which is also Cory's dating history. So.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a cool moment. I like little getaway stuff like this on any reality show. Like Survivor when they went to the lagoon with the jellyfish. Mm-hmm. And that was in Palau. And when I got voted out, we had the opportunity. Well, we could have had the opportunity to go there, and they were like, "No, we're not going to take the chance on people seeing you."
That sucks, but yeah. I guess I get it. I don't know. Those are some crazy days in reality TV. People were like renting planes and flying them over filming locations to try to get snapshots. So,
yeah, and they were like, run to the shelter and cover your head. And I would, if you thought I ran slow in challenges, that was nothing compared to me running to the shelter, waving.
You see this blonde hair? I'm still here.
Yeah. Blonde hair guy. Final 3. So yeah. That was me.
We come back from the spa trip and we're at the house again, and Nam is now leaving for the hospital. As we said, once we get to this point, I have no hope for Nam coming back. This sucks.
No. I mean, like, to show him, like, actually, make the slow walk to the car. You're just like, this is a dead man walking.
I feel so bad for this guy because I was so excited to see him sans Lolo. And instead, we get him without Lolo for one episode, and he immediately gets medevaced from the game. Not only does this suck for Nam, it sucks for Big T. Other things that suck for Big T is her conversation with CT that immediately follows the Nam scene, and CT's trying to apologize.
Yeah,
Jonny, as someone who has apologized to a lot of people over the years, what are your thoughts on CT's apologizing skills?
I try to make it a daily habit at this point. I feel. Yeah. CT says, "Let me have it," and boy, did she. And Big T explains to CT that what he did was humiliating. And at this point, I'm like, ugh, do I not like CT? Because when you have Big T framing it to his face with her right beside him, I'm just like, man, as cool as that was, there was something uncool to it.
Yeah, there's a human element there that neglected when you just celebrate the hype created around it. Because I think for some of these callous challenge veterans, this is a different thing than it is for Big T, who's still pretty new to the challenge, and this is very human to her.
Yeah, so as it should be. I mean, I think for most of us, unless we've competed in 14 fucking challenges, there is going to be a human element.
Yeah. I mean,
if this is your fucking job instead of actually having to get a job, then there's not, and there should not be. I mean, this is the difference between Boston Rob and Jonny Fairplay. Like, Boston Rob has played 18 times. He's made the jury twice, and he's made a career out of this, and he has no emotion. He's a fucking robot. That's not me. I wish that were me. People ask, they're just like, hey, like, don't you think you're better than Boston Rob at Survivor? I don't think so. I think I think I understand the game better. I think I understand people better. But I can't subtract that human element, and he can. I think that makes him better than me.
Yeah. I would also put CT in that class. That he can subtract that element. And as they're having this conversation, this is one of those really frustrating conversations for me to listen to on reality TV. I hear exactly what both of them are saying. I agree with almost everything both of them are saying. It's the way CT is saying this that is making him so wrong. He's not making Big T feel heard. He's not respecting her feelings and emotions. He's not doing all the stuff he basically needs to do. CT, it's more about how you're making her feel than it is about what you're saying.
Yeah. He explains he didn't lie. He broke a promise. That's semantics. Like that. That's not a hill to die on.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with him, but why? Like, what is the point?
Yeah. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? And then he follows with explain to my son why I didn't win $1 million. Now that was his best point to make. And from there, shut up, let Big T talk. I think you win the argument. Well, not win the argument, but I think you find peace. But instead, he's like, I think he went into it and he had this whole speech in his head. And he was like, oh, man, this is fucking gold. If I say these 8 things, she's going to be like, you're right. We're cool.
Yeah, well, CT went into it thinking I need to get her to say I'm right instead of actually realizing what his objective should have been, which is reconciliation and having them both leave and saying we're both together again. Like, we're cool.
I wouldn't even try for, like, I think he should have been like, whatever it's going to take to make this girl happy, leave with that. If you do that, you win. But that's not what that was not his end game right there. And you saw it. I mean, it was so painful. Like, I'm wondering if a couple drinks went in before that conversation, potentially with both, and that's not helping. Maybe not. I mean, but it was nighttime.
Yeah, it doesn't usually help. I mean, what he was saying was right. How he was saying was wrong. And that's what it comes down to ultimately. And CT is kind of public enemy number 1 with most of the house now. And Big T vows to be the grudge keeper. She is not just going to hold this vendetta against CT this season. She is vowing to come back season after season and making him pay.
Yeah. Well, and in addition to that, she goes, I will keep sending him in the crater. And I'm just like, how about send yourself in the crater so you can get a fucking skull?
Yeah. Well, I hope she doesn't send CT's team down and think she's going to go down because, I wouldn't want to face Cam.
Well, as she explains that, the polar opposite of her as a challenger would be Cam, and that's not you. I mean, in some situations you do want to go against your opposite, not in the challenge.
No,
and not if you're Big T.
No, not if you're on the smaller side of that. I love Big T. She's one of the best things to come out of this season. I love that she's emerging as a huge challenge character. I hope she comes back season after season and becomes the grudge keeper and puts CT's feet to the fire. That's an awesome storyline. I would love to see Big T emerge and overtake CT at some point. I love that story.
Yeah, no, it's great. So, so next Nam comes back and we're informed that I'm guessing he got a cortisone shot.
Yeah, it was a huge injection.
Yeah, like that's what DDP, the wrestler, his back was really like he used to come to the ring and at the tail end of WCW, his ribs were always taped and a lot of that was a shoot. Like, I mean, he was really in pain. And for most of the pay-per-views, he was getting that cortisone injection before the match so that he can compete. And he would tell you that, I was 22 years old for about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if Nam ain't feeling that, then things is bad.
Yeah, that's not good. No, I was feeling for him. I got my second round of the COVID-19 vaccine today. Very excited. But
and you did 2 podcasts?
And I've done 2 podcasts back to back tonight.
Oh my God. Do you even know who I am?
Hey, you know what? I got a couple of things wrong, and I know the chat was holding me accountable. And I was like, guys, I know I'm feeling very fatigued. I'm just trying to keep my eyes open right now, and I'm having fun talking about the challenge. I'm sorry I've gotten a few details wrong.
Yeah, no, you're killing it. All right. We see a conversation between Leroy and Casey. They they have been drama free throughout the season, and the best part is they're aware that they have been drama free throughout the season, and it goes one step further to have them explain we don't really talk to each other.
Yeah, I'm impressed by this, and knowing Casey, this sounds like the most Casey thing ever. That like they met early on, they established a working relationship, they agreed to some terms, and it has been smooth sailing ever since.
This is what I'm looking for in a marriage.
Yeah. Well, if only you were Casey's type, I think that would be perfect. I mean,
I don't think I'm Casey's type.
No.
Well, I'm pretty effeminate.
I don't know. I've never talked to Casey about her preferences, but Casey and Leroy.
Watch me play football and you tell me.
Yeah, no, Casey and Leroy, I think, might be the number one threat to win a final right now. And I'm very excited for Casey, who I like a lot, and Leroy, who is one of my favorite dudes on the challenge right now.
Yeah. And as I said, being able to have met him, I met him and Nani in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And just both so nice and awesome back then. And I feel like those two kids that I met 16 years ago are the same people I'm seeing on my television screen now.
Yeah. I love it. I think that why do we get this scene unless one of two things is about to happen? Number one, Casey and Leroy are about to fall to shit. I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
Option two is we're starting to get a winner narrative as we are in the back third of episodes.
Yeah.
And I think this is such a subtle scene that if you don't pay attention to it, you might forget it was even in this episode, but we're laying some narrative groundwork for something.
I'll take it. I'll take a winner at it.
Yeah, I think so.
That's it. I mean, if, Leroy says this is his final season, I think if they keep doing those real world OGs or challenge OG seasons, and I feel like they're a truncated season. I may be mistaken. Yeah. If they do those, I think that's calling Leroy's name. If he wins this.
Yeah.
Or even if he doesn't, but especially if he wins this.
Yeah, Leroy's a shoo-in for that.
He says he's retiring, but I could see him being like, well, this don't count.
Look, if Mark Long isn't retired, Leroy, you're not retired. Come on, man.
Yeah. Come on.
No way. And at this point in the episode, we're all probably thinking the same thing, which is, where is the daily challenge? This episode is the weirdest pacing ever. We've been hanging out with...
I'm looking at my clock, and I'm just like, good luck.
Yeah, I was thinking this has to be the worst daily challenge ever because they're only going to get like 5 minutes of it. Is it another drone? No. Instead, boom, the challenge is activated at night. And this looks intense. I'm very excited as they're walking into this place. But then we find out Nam, as expected, he's out, unfit to continue. And Big T is now a rogue agent going into this daily challenge.
Did you feel that TJ was not very convincing in saying Nam would be back?
No, I was convinced by nothing, neither the edit nor TJ nor anything about any of this. I don't think Nam is coming back to the challenge.
Yeah, not like he was just like, yeah, maybe we'll see you. It was just like it's at the end of one of those first dates that you're just like, that might have been the worst first date of my entire life. And they're just like, so, I mean, like next Saturday, and you're like, I mean, I think next Saturday is on the calendar. I mean,
yeah, and then they're like, didn't you see I have a bag for my belt? That's not all I got. That's my big character moment this season.
That was his big character moment, was his belt bag.
That's all that comes to my mind, other than fighting with Lolo or like refusing to fight with Lolo, just having Lolo scream at him.
Yeah, I mean, like which show would be optimal for him? Like
in German.
What's that?
If it's done in German, I think he's going to do fantastic.
In anything.
Yeah, I mean, as he said, he would be socializing with everyone if it was in German. The English, I think it took him a while to get used to the English bit. That is a true struggle. If you are not used to using a language on a daily basis and everyone around you is communicating so fluidly and so easily, to try to go into that situation and socialize when you're already an outsider, when you're already a rookie, it's a huge disadvantage.
Sure. So that's it. I think he was plenty likable, but I mean, of all the personalities we saw this season, and all the personalities that have been on previous seasons that were not included, that were sorely missed by a lot of the fandom, and then all the possibilities that have never played before, Nam never plays again.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not again. I loved Nam. If I'm ever in like Frankfurt, I'd love to have a beer with Nam. I just don't see him coming back on the challenge.
Yeah.
As people in the chat are talking about other foreign language contestants we've had before, like my boy Turbo. I would love to see Nam and Turbo as a team. That would be so much fun. But Turbo had so much personality on top of the fact that he was international. And Turbo didn't really have to worry about socializing because he just basically didn't do it. He just fought with people and was a psycho. So if Nam would have done that, he would definitely be back.
Yeah. So, psycho goes a long way in reality television.
It does. Lolo's been making a living from it.
Yeah. So, yes, Big T now a rogue agent. Do you think if she wins, or I mean, do you think not if she wins, you think if she has the potential to grab CT, she does?
No, I hope not. Like,
I think she does.
Hilarious, but do you think she would?
Absolutely.
That would be fascinating. I would love to see that drama. That would be some true grudge keeper action.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not good enough for a final. Guess who's going to ruin your final then, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it. That would be awesome.
And CT remains the heel that I love, and you have Big T with the hero moment.
Yeah. I hope we have enough episodes left and enough eliminations left to make.
Well, I mean, the next challenge is the next crater is a girl's crater, because there's a girl's skull remaining.
Yeah. Yes.
So
won't she get to pick, right? She'll get who's left.
Oh, is that how that'll work? She doesn't get to pick.
And unless I'm high on vaccine, yeah. Whoever wins the girls' elimination will pick their partner, and then CT will get whatever dude is left.
Okay, so
you're talking it would be like 3 rounds from now.
Yeah, too far.
Too far, I think, but that would be great television.
It would, yeah. Too much work. We try, guys. We're trying to give you a storybook ending here. All right, so this is the Survive the Night Daily. Cory says, no problem. I live on no sleep. I'm used to that with the kids. I have 2 daughters, never had that issue. Slept throughout the night without a care in the world.
Yeah, if this is what Cory's children do in his house, he's doing something wrong. I'm just gonna say, these sounds and the lights. This is awful. I would just quit instantly. I don't even want to do this for even a minute.
Yeah. And next we hear from Kyle, who I'm guessing assumes the role of narrator from Devin, because this was potentially the line of the episode. Kyle is used to a cell, and based on Nani's life choices, so is she.
Yeah, he's really good. I am excited. Not only do we lose Devin, but we get more Kyle, I think, as a result. So I could not be more happy with the direction of the challenge, and I think we're in for some good episodes.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I thought this is a great one. I'm looking forward to seeing Saw 18. I mean, Jigsaw is a master at what he does, and without the face paint, he is TJ Lavin. Who knew? This should be fun. Yeah,
I've seen some reality shows try to pull off the like horror fear factor challenge before. Like Big Brother Canada's done like sit in the box, like a plexiglass box, and they like put horrible shit in there with you. I don't know. It's always a little lackluster for me. I'm hoping that the challenge pulls this off, because the challenge does intensity better than any other show I've seen.
So too.
I think this is going to be pretty good. I'm pretty excited to see what they do to him.
Yeah. I'm stoked. Other than my boy Devin, R.I.P. The greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th, and one of the greatest challenge beasts, in my opinion, left too soon on March 3rd. So it'll be forever a day in infamy.
Oh man, you really reached for that one.
Thank you.
Devin, good riddance. I'm sure we'll see you next season, and I'll have to try to figure out something to like about you yet again. But hey, Jonny, you got anything else?
No. Check out our Big Brother Canada coverage. It's pretty awesome. It's yourself and Brett Wolgamott on Wednesday nights, or from last night on Wednesday for the premiere. Pretty amazing episode. We did record numbers. Thank you, Zack. I might be, based on what I saw. I watched it live and then went back and listened to it in my car all the way through today. And I might be second fiddle on the reality NHFSW lineup. I mean, I think in the history of reality television recap episodes, I think Brent Wolgamott was absolute fire for an entire hour straight, and I've never seen anything like it. Just unleashed.
The man brings it. I was honestly nervous to podcast with him and to steer the way because I've heard him podcast before, and he brings the fire. And I'd never podcasted with him before. The man is talented. The man is entertaining, and I had an absolute blast. I was laughing, and yeah, people are loving it. Rave reactions to the Big Brother Canada coverage, and I'm loving Big Brother Canada. It's so cool to have these two reality shows on that I'm loving both. It almost feels like all is normal in the world.
And right before we went live here, you just wrapped up with Peter Brown from Big Brother Canada, the bad guy of Big Brother Canada, who's actually ridiculously nice in real life.
Yeah.
And you guys wrapped up the coverage of episode 2 of Big Brother Canada, in which we had our first evicted house guest.
We did. It was a shocker too. So if you're behind on Big Brother Canada, I suggest getting caught up. There's only a couple episodes. You can jump in the season. It's going really well so far. And Peter drops some spoiler knowledge in that episode. I don't believe he was supposed to. So if you haven't checked that out, he gives a little bit of insight into who may or may not be joining this season that I could tell he instantly regretted saying while we were live. So go check that out.
Oh, tremendous. Love it when tea is spilt. All right. Once again, the best way to support the podcast is to go to ad-free NSFW, become a sponsor. Need those, or to become a patron. Need those more than ever. That's adfreeNSFW.com. Please click the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you podcast, and especially on YouTube, and press like on all of these. It helps with everything. Thank you so much for all your patience and being with us here at Reality NSFW.